Hello and welcome to this gentle stretch. So today we're going to be waking up our body in the most gentle and loving way. So we're going to start in a seated position. So come meet me on your mat and you can pop something underneath your sitting bones if that's more comfortable. Maybe a block, maybe a pillow if you prefer. Relax your hands onto your knees or your thighs. And then when you're ready, softly close down the eyes. Take a breath in to sit a little taller. And exhale to welcome ourselves into the practice. Just taking a few moments of stillness here. Just checking in with how we're feeling, so physically, mentally, how are we doing today? And then also checking in with our energy levels. And just being really mindful of that in today's practice. So we're going to be moving nice and slowly, conserving our energy here. So now let's bring all of our attention onto our breath. Breathing in and out of the nose. And as you inhale, see if you can send the breath down towards the belly. And as you exhale, watch that breath flow back up and out. So you're welcome to keep the eyes closed here, or if you'd like to open them. We're going to drop one ear to one shoulder. See if you can tell both shoulders to relax and soften. And then gently rolling the chin down to the chest and take opposite ear, so opposite shoulder, so you feel that lovely stretch down the side of the neck. Wonderful. We're going to continue with these little neck rolls here. So option to drop the head all the way back if that feels right for you. And if you find any niggly spots, maybe you can kind of work into that for a few breaths. But it's quite nice to close your eyes and just really notice where you feel the sensation. So it might not be immediately in the neck. You might feel it down in between your shoulder blades. Lovely. And then just switching up direction if you haven't already. Lovely, relaxing through the face. Wonderful. And then slowly making your way so your chin rests onto your chest, just stretch across the back of the neck. Lovely. As you inhale, we're going to reach your hands high, lift the head. See if you can lift out of your waistline. And then as you exhale, come over to one hand side. So make sure both sitting bones are grounded here. As you inhale, see if you can rotate your chest to face the ceiling a little more. And then as you exhale, bring the top hand down to meet the bottom hand. Good. Inhale, open up. Feel that opening in the chest. Exhale, bringing it down so you stretch across like the back of the shoulder. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. On your next inhalation, bring both hands up through center. And then exhale over to the opposite side. Good. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bringing that hand down. Good. Inhale. And exhale. With the breath, one more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming up through center. And then as you exhale, take a twist. So bringing one hand across, one hand behind. Every inhale, see if you can sit a little taller. And every exhale, see if you can twist just that little bit more. Good. Inhale, reaching both hands high. And then as you exhale, twisting over to the opposite side, drawing the belly in. Good, nice big breath. And as you exhale, come back to face center and come find an all fours position. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread those fingers nice and wide. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, look up. And as you exhale, round it on out, scoop your belly in. Good, inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale to round. Good, inhale to a neutral place with the spine now. Tuck the toes, spread the fingers wide, downward facing dog. Nice, so take a little pedal through the feet, just bending into one knee and straightening the other. Just kind of opening up through the back of the legs. Head is nice and heavy, no need to hold it up. Wonderful, and then we're going to begin to walk the feet towards the hands in as many little steps as you need. Take your time. Feet are hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Then soften through your knees, grab opposite elbows and just allow that upper body to really hang and decompress. So a nice generous bend in the knees. So we take it out of the hamstrings and it's more about releasing through the spine. Wonderful, bringing the fingertips down to the mat. As you inhale, you're going to bring your hands onto your knees and find length here. Length through the spine, so we're in this little kind of L shape. And then as you exhale, fold, relax your neck. 2 more like that, inhale, hands onto the knees, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, fold. Last one, inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands down. You're going to step your left foot back, drop the back knee, untuck the toe, bringing the hands up onto that right thigh, and then sinking the hips forwards and down. So we're stretching through that left hip flexor here. If this doesn't feel nice through the lower back, totally don't go so deep, but still find a little tuck of your tailbone and you'll still feel that lovely stretch in the front of the hip. Keeping the breath nice and calm and the shoulders nice and relaxed. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. And then straightening up that front leg, toes are lifted to the sky. So if you're feeling very tight through the back of the legs, you might want some blocks or you could use some books either side just to bring the floor to you. Otherwise, hands or fingertips on the floor. So the toes are lifted and flexed, so you feel that lovely stretch all the way down the back of the front leg. Imagine you are sending your breath all the way down the back of the leg to like the sole of the foot. Good, breathing in. As you exhale, you're going to plant that foot down, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift your back knee, then you're going to find a little bounce and then step your left foot forwards. Good, inhale, hands onto the knees, length through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, we're going to step our right foot back this time, drop the knee, untuck the toe, hands come up onto the thigh, and then sinking the hips forwards and down. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And just go as far as feels good for you. So if it feels too strenuous, if you're really shaking, totally back off and just go to a place that feels nourishing. Wonderful. One more breath here. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to frame that front foot, straightening up the front leg. Toes are lifted, so grab props if you need to. Otherwise, foot is flexed, so you feel that stretch even through the calf muscle as well as the hamstring. Keeping the spine nice and straight as well. Just check checking in that we're not over efforting through the shoulders or the neck. See if we can keep that nice and free. Good, breathing in. And as you exhale, plant the foot, plant the hands. This time we're going to come back to all fours and then find a downward facing dog. Lovely. So see if you can get your sitting bones a little bit higher and your heels a little bit lower. So now that we've worked into those hamstrings a little bit, you might find that you can really open out the back of the leg a little bit more. Wonderful. Good. From here, let's walk the feet towards the hands in as many little steps as you need. And then bending into the knees, coming down to a crouching position, and then we're going to find a comfortable seat. So walking the hands back. Let's start with the right leg extended and hugging the left knee in. Good. And then we're going to let that left knee just drop out to the side. If that knee is really hovering, you can always pop a block or a pillow under there for support. Otherwise, flex your right toes back towards you. Take a nice big breath, reach up. And then as you exhale, forward fold. So maybe some of us grab the knee, the ankle or the foot. You could also use a strap if you wanted to. But otherwise, just grab higher up the leg. Lovely. And then move with your breath here. So inhale, find length through the waist. Exhale to fold. Relax the back of the neck. And see if we can direct the stretch to the back of the leg. So if you're feeling a lot happening through your lower back, just make yourself a little more upright. Keeping the gaze forwards if you can. It'll encourage you to move forwards rather than down. Good, one more breath here. And let it go. Good, inhale, slowly walking the hands back towards you. We're going to hug that left knee in towards the chest and then step it over. So make sure that foot is flat. Lovely, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist to your left. So your elbow is going to come across. And then we're looking behind, really wringing out through that middle spine, the thoracic spine. Make sure your core is switched on. So really draw your belly in and use the elbow a little bit to push you around. One more big breath. And then as you exhale, unwind, take a little counter twist the opposite way. And then come back through center, lovely. Lengthening out the left leg, hugging in the right, and then letting it drop out to the side. Good, flex those left toes back towards you. Nice big breath, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Grab whatever you need. Try not to be too obsessed with touching your toes. You can totally still get a stretch when your hands are up here. So inhale to find length through the waist. Exhale to fold. So your hands aren't really doing anything here. There's not lots of pulling. See if you can make it happen from your core. So inhale. Exhale, pull your belly button in and see how that pulls you forwards without you having to use your arms. Keeping the toes flexed back towards the face. Let's take one more breath. And let it go. And then slowly walking the hands back towards you. Let's bring the knee into the chest and then step it over. Make sure that foot is flat. Sit nice and tall. So use your hands on your shin here to lift you up nice and proud. And then twisting to the right, so towards the opposite way. Looking over the back shoulder. Good. Every inhale, sit tall. Every exhale, twisting just that little bit more. Good. Nice big breath in. And as you exhale, unwind. Take a little counter twist the opposite way. And then coming back through center, lengthening out that leg. Give both legs a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet flat on the mat. Have your fingers pointing the same way as toes. And then we're just going to come into a gentle back bend just to counterpose those forward bends that we've done. So inhale, press into the hands and feet. Lift the bum, lift the chest. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly coming on down and coming back to your seat that we began in. So really finding your sit bones rooted into the earth. Close off the eyes. As you inhale, see if you can elongate the spine, growing even taller. Exhale, soften the jaw, the shoulders, allowing a sense of ease to wash over you. Bringing the hands together at the heart and bowing the head down towards yourself. Really thank yourself for carving out the time today to look after not just your body, but your mind as well. Blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you again soon.